Hi guys, how y'all doing? Today I'll show you a science fiction thriller film called Level 16. A group of schoolgirls reside in a windowless, isolated boarding school that is heavily monitored. Sophia and Vivian share a dorm and become best friends. They have never known what a true outside world looks like since they were born. Instead, kids are simply informed that the air outside the school is contaminated and harmful. But one thing they are certain of is that before being adopted by the wealthy family, they must learn etiquette and adhere to a number of severe standards, which include vetting them on how to be clean and appropriate. One day, Vivian picks up a dropped box for Sophia when the girls are lining up for face cleaning under the camera, but she fails to show up in time under the camera, prompting her to be taken away by the security guards immediately away for punishment. She tries unsuccessfully to plead for mercy. Sophia is currently too afraid to intervene on behalf of her friend. Many years later, Vivian reaches her teenage. She goes about her boring daily rituals in her isolated setting as usual. To keep track of how many days she has left at the boarding school, every night before she goes to bed, she scribbles a day from the previous day on the wooden board. The headmistress wishes to congratulate them on their successful graduation from the current level and admittance into level 16, which means they'll soon be eligible to be adopted by a wealthy family and given the opportunity to see the outside world. Vivian is then assigned to a new dorm, where she reacquaints herself with her old friend Sophia. Sophia attempts to strike up a discussion with Vivian, but she is ignored by her, who is allegedly bothered by that disastrous incident in the past. After dinner, the girls are forced to stand in front of the camera and take a vitamin-like pill, which is believed to be beneficial to their health and is part of their daily routine. Sophia waits in the restroom for Vivian, trying to tell her something but being interrupted by the enraged Vivian. Later, the headmistress offers each girl a dress as a gift. The girls who have spent their whole lives at the school, on the other hand, has no idea what the words on the skirt mean. Soon after, while alone with Vivian, Sophia advises her not to take the vitamin pill but without specifying why. Vivian pretends to swallow the medicine the next day before the camera discreetly spits it out. Later that night, while she is awake, she attempts unsuccessfully to wake the other girls from their deep sleep, leading her to suspect the pill. Surprisingly, the awake Sophia then advises her to keep pretending to sleep, no matter what she sees later. Sophia returns to her bed just as the headmistress and security officers enter, carrying Vivian and another girl into a demonstration room, where an elderly couple who are supposed to be adopters are brought in to assess the girl's conditions. Before deciding to keep the other girl, the old lady examines her own supposedly happy face in the mirror. While Vivian is being transported back to her dorm, Sophia encourages her to find a way out as she is having some peculiar feelings about the adoption. Vivian, on the other hand, is adamant on staying in school because she believes the outer world is toxic and dangerous. Someday the girls are summoned to the infirmary for a vaccination shot, which the doctor claims will protect them from colds. However, later that night, one of the girls experiences a violent convulsion as a result of the shot and is brought to the infirmary for treatment. When Vivian returns to the infirmary to tell the doctor about the unusual occurrences that happened the day before, the doctor notices that she hasn't taken the medicines. As a result, he gives her a large shot, which causes her to become dizzy. As Vivian dangles back to the dormitory, Sophia continues to push Vivian to run away with her and explains her the complete escape plan, which requires a door pass first. Vivian becomes irritated by Sophia and explodes in anger, which is however considered bad manners and forbidden at the school. Vivian is then reported to the headmistress and punished by being locked up in the forbidden room. The headmistress then returns to her office, where she meets her doctor lover, who informs her that they need to have more children in order to meet the demands of the investors. The headmistress appears to be weary of it all and wants to put an end to it as soon as possible. The doctor, on the other hand, warns her of powerful investors, who are the last people they want to piss off in this world. While the girls are sleeping, a nefarious security guard breaks into their room and begins testing their hormone levels. Sophia, who is awake, tries unsuccessfully to use a tower to overcome the tough guy. Fortunately, she was able to use an iron to knock him out. She then grabs the security guard's door pass and tries to get Vivian out of the forbidden room. However, after the security alert is raised, she must abandon her scheme. The next day, Sophia is apprehended, and all of the girls are rounded up for questioning. They look for the lost pass in every girl, but they can't find it. Later, the headmistress employs her own methods to ensure that all of the girls take the sleeping pill. Later that night, Vivian keeps stabbing her palm to make herself stay awake. She then discovers the pass that Sophia had hidden. To her dismay, the pass is quickly discovered to be not working anymore. However, she is able to take the door down by using the pass to remove the screws. Vivian then goes to the headmistress and demands to know where Sophia is. The headmistress tries to fool Vivian by giving her a sedative. Vivian, on the other hand, overpowers her and seizes the opportunity to shoot her with tranquilizer. She then takes her pass and proceeds to the basement, where she discovers Sophia and releases her. They happen to walk into a surgery room on their way out, where they are surprised to see many dead bodies of girls with their facial skin sliced off. It's revealed that the girls who were meant to be chosen for adoption had been flayed to death. Sophia chooses to save the other girls, knowing that they will meet the same fate. Despite the panic, Vivian insists on remaining at the location to await their arrival. As Sophia returns for the remaining girls, Vivian happens to get to a demonstration room. From video footage in play, she's horrified to know that the school is actually a private clinic, and provides face implant surgery for those rich old ladies. According to the instructions of the investors, they raise the little girls to be clean and healthy, and then sell their faces for a higher price once they've grown up. Sophia, on the other hand, finds it difficult to persuade the girls to trust her and leave the institution because they have been brainwashed for so long. Instead, they want to report her lunacy to the security officer. At that important juncture, Vivian drags the confined headmistress there and pushes her to reveal the horrific truth. The girls must accept the frightening reality when they discover surgery scars on her head, indicating that she has had face transplantation as well. They're all terrified of such a bloody old creature with an unknown face, so they lock her up in the forbidden room before following Vivian and Sophia out the door. The security guy, on the other hand, pursues Sophia and quickly seizes control of her, wounding her. Vivian arrives to save the day and manages to knock the security guard over a high wall, quickly killing him. Soon after, the doctor arrives with 2 gunmen, forcing the girls to flee for their lives. While Vivian, having no other option, carries Sophia to an abandoned warehouse and closes the door. Vivian is approached by the doctor, who tries to urge her to remain calm and put down her knife. However, Vivian, who knows the whole truth, cuts her priceless face in front of the doctor, who panics and has to confront his end-of-life minutes later in front of the investors. The police arrive the next day to save Vivian and Sophia, who are terrified. After narrowly avoiding death, the two are beaming as they welcome their new life for the first time in the soft rain and sunshine. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a sub to my channel. I'm David from Short Movie Recaps. Cheers.